We never played this one. We don't know it. I've already done the pre-post. Yeah, he has his rectangular jug. On my other drawings, the other day, a lady was putting her feet up. One of the bolts fell out. Yeah. And it was so loud. Just out of nowhere. Real loud.
It would stir to you too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh wow.
And then the Trump voluntarily just trading.
Spamalot,
Yeah.
the first time Spamalot came out, the fake campfire that almost killed her after. Like it felt like if you'd been standing there, it would have killed her. It would have seriously hurt her. Yeah. And there was a lot there the next night.
Including when I was in South Carolina. Because last year, the year before, I was went off into the state.
When do you get paid?
The
Oh, you here?
did some salt with the old. She was, the mouse was fine. Played tennis. Scared of it.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
And the instrument and then the player were unhurt.
Nobody was hurt.
No kidding.
Yeah. That would have been very expensive calls.
I mean everything before that.
Oh, really? Wow.
They had
I remember doing one of these
a lot of circles.
about 15 years ago at one of the colleges like or something, and they made two of the days, and the platform was we were playing actually sang these chords. So everybody, I got there for the second service. Everybody was mud up to their knees, literally.
The trustees and faculty of Wheaton College are now declared convened, together with members of the class of 2019, their families, friends, honored guests, and alumni on the occasion of the 184th graduation exercises for the conferring of degrees. May this indeed be a memorable occasion for everyone. Rabbi and Professor of Religion Jonathan Brumberg-Kraus will now offer the invocation. Please stay standing after the invocation for the singing of the Wheaton hymn.
Welcome, graduates, family, friends, alumni, staff, faculty, distinguished guests, and honorees. Please take a few seconds to look at all the remarkable people around you who have come together to celebrate this passage on this glorious day. What a blessing it is for us to have been kept alive, sustained, and brought to this day, or as we say in the Hebrew words of my Jewish tradition, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. And what has kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this day in May 2019? Along with the people who have supported you, you have had internal resources to draw upon over these past 4 years. And these have not been an easy 4 years for you, our nation, our world. So for our particular time, let's consider the blessings of the emotions of anger, of empathy, and admiration. Anger? Think of a moment over the past 4 years when you have gotten good and mad with the kind of anger that sharpened your awareness that the world is not as it should be. The kind of rage that reminded you, in Bell Hook's words, there's a space inside yourself where resistance is possible. Hold that memory. It feeds you. Empathy. Think of a moment over the past 4 years when you have acutely felt empathy for others or felt others' empathy for you. When that empathy made you feel you were not alone. When that empathy roused you from your routine to care and to act on another's behalf. God knows our world needs it. Hold that memory. It feeds you. And finally, admiration. Think of a moment over the past 4 years when you felt admiration for someone or when you felt someone's admiration for you. Did it elevate you? Hold that memory. It feeds you. May these memories of our emotional wisdom from the past, which we feel in the present, move us to act with the strength and vision we need for the future. So let's rejoice in these blessings with a prayer inspired by my teacher, mentor, and friend, Vereen Parnell. Our praise to you, Spirit of good endings and better beginnings, of homecomings and life launchings, whose name is also wisdom, who gives us life, sustains us, brings us to this time, and will carry us through the times to come. Amen.
We praise thee, Lord, whose love Please be seated. Good morning and welcome. What a gloriously beautiful day. I think it's a fitting way for the class of 2019 to spend their time together on the Dimple, the same place you started 4 years ago when you arrived on campus. Congratulations, class of 2019. You are an amazing and talented group of students. Over the past 4 years, you have learned and grown and done great things, and we are here to celebrate your many accomplishments. We are also here to pay tribute to the inspiring works and notable achievements of our honored guests. But first, some thanks. Behind every one of us stands a crowd of people, family and friends and individuals we may have never met who have helped us get to where we are today, and that is something to celebrate too. And so it is for you, members of the class of 2019. So let's start with a special welcome to all the parents and families of our graduates. It's been our privilege, family and friends, to get to know your students, to help them discover their passions, to serve as advisors, coaches, mentors, and friends. We are truly so grateful. You were their first teachers, and you guided them on the path that has brought them to this moment. Their successes are yours too. To our alumni and alumni, we are glad you are here. Altogether, about 500 alumni are here on campus for commencement and reunion. You hail from 33 states and a number of countries, including Germany, France, and Italy. Your many accomplishments in the world exemplify the breadth and talent of the Wheaton community. Thank you for that. I want to extend special greetings to two members of the class of 1949. Yes, 1949, and I see them right back there, who are here with us to celebrate, yes, their 70th reunion. June Jenkins Peterson and Ann Nielsen, who is also a trustee emerita of the college. I also want to acknowledge that some alumni are here today, not for reunion, but to witness a child, a grandchild, or other family member graduate. Thank you to those people for making our college a family tradition. To Wheaton's faculty, your energy, enthusiasm, and expertise makes all the difference for our students. Thank you. Wheaton's ability to offer a great liberal arts education begins with you, dedicated teachers, renowned scholars, scientists, performers, and artists. I want to especially thank 3 professors who are graduating this year after distinguished teaching careers, and those are David Fox, Theater and Dramatic Literature, Andy Howard, Studio Art, and Gene Wilson from Political Science. Thank you for 103 years of combined service to Wheaton and our students. I also want to congratulate faculty members who have been honored for their teaching, scholarship, and service to the community. A few of them are Gabriela Torres, Professor of Anthropology, who was honored with the Faculty Appreciation Award by the senior class. Congratulations, well deserved, Gabriela. Claudia Feo, Professor of Art, who has been appointed to hold the Hannah M. Goldberg Chair of Teaching Innovation. 4 faculty, Tandi Budalisi, Francisco de Elba, Kim Miller, and Ali Razi Shamali, all who have been promoted to the rank of full professor. Congratulations to all those faculty, and class of 2019, let's hear what you think about the faculty who have mentored you during your 4 years here. Big round of applause for them. To Wheaton staff, your contributions to our students' education are many and varied, from the advice and support you offer students to the myriad tasks you perform to maintain this campus as a vibrant learning community. All you have to do is look around at this beautiful place and the sense of community that's here and realize what a contribution the staff make to Wheaton College. Thank you. In addition to all the alumni, family and friends, faculty and staff here with us today, many more people are joining us via the live stream and webcast. To all of you out there, I'm sorry that you're not basking in this rare New England sunshine, but we are glad you are with us. I especially want to send a shout out to Trustee Emerita and former board chair Nancy Conger, class of '67, who has done so much to strengthen this community and who is with us online and in spirit. Thank you, Nancy. And speaking of people who are not here, there's a few members of the class of 2019 who are a little busy today and couldn't be with us. By virtue of a victory last night in the NCAA tournament, the Wheaton baseball team has another game this afternoon. Hopefully they're up watching this. Welcome to the class of 2019 and all the baseball team. Special shout out to Joe Bongiovanni, Willie Boyd, Connor Gammon, Jimmy Gianquitti, Tommy Larson, Jared Sharkey, and Josh Tribuck. Go out there and win another one for Wheaton. Go Lions. We're all rooting for you this afternoon, and I'll be watching online. To the class of 2019, soon you will walk across the stage for your diploma and then head off to new adventures. You will take with you all the knowledge and skills and perspective that you earned in the past 4 years, from psychology, sociology, and biology to art history, classics, and business and management. And you are headed to exciting new places, outstanding jobs, top graduate schools, public service, and world traveler. I know you will do great things. You've made your mark here at Wheaton in so many ways, and we are better for it. Along those lines, I want to take a moment to acknowledge your generosity. More than half of the class of 2019 has participated in senior class gift events and wear a special graduation cord that signifies your first step to staying connected to your college as you venture beyond campus. Thanks for that, and most especially to senior class gift committee co-chairs David Carbonella, Isabella Bella Kluster, and Keaton Schrank, who have led the way. Thank you, guys. Today, class of 2019, your families and friends, join us in celebrating all that you have achieved, as well as all that you can and will do in the future. Bravo, class of 2019. It's now my pleasure to call on Antonio, or Tony as we all know him, Galvin, president of the senior class, for his greetings. Tony, come on up.
Well, hello 2019, how are we doing today? So I'm so happy to see us all in one place at least one more time, because wow, you're all amazing. And I'm so excited to see us all together here to celebrate our time at Wheaton. It hasn't been an easy 4 years, not in the slightest, and there have been so many changes in the world, in our lives, and at Wheaton. It's been through these changes that we have been able to grow. Life brings about these changes as it does these challenges, and it's taken several of these challenges, conflicts, and learning opportunities in order for us to become the wise, experienced, and knowledgeable human beings that we are today. We have worked so hard to get here. We each have had so many hurdles thrown our way. The challenges of being a first-generation college student, a student with disabilities, a student of color, a queer student, an international student, or any challenge we face due to who we are, we have risen to those challenges, and we have made it, succeeded against any odds. And I want to show appreciation for those students who have succeeded regardless of how hard the world around us tries to work against us. I'm proud of each and every one of you, so please clap. Thank you. You each have grown significantly, and you all have brought me so much joy and so much life. From chapel night, our first year, to our last pub night, I have met so many wonderful friends and made connections with you all that will last a lifetime. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your lives as well. Thank you all for having created a place where people like me can feel comfortable and can find people to accept me. Wheaton helped me find myself, accept who I am, and share my light with the world. Before Wheaton, I lived multiple lives. I didn't have any friends that I felt I could trust and open myself up to like you all. 4 years ago, when I put my deposit in, I never imagined that the crummy world I lived in would change. You all gave my life new joy and new meaning. It's because of the wonderful bundles of light in the class of 2019 that I've been able to live a happier life. I could never repay you all for having helped me find a new way to love life, so thank you all so much. I also need to thank the amazing staff and faculty here at Wheaton. You have all worked tirelessly to make sure that we each could make it to this ceremony, and we appreciate you all for doing everything to ensure our success. So many of us would not be here if we hadn't made those special connections with each of you. I wouldn't be on this stage specifically if it wasn't for Rachel Pink, Lindsay Aguilar, Bridget Lewis, and Peony Fagan. Thank you all for what you have done for me in my class. And lastly, thank you to the parents, family, and friends that are here to help us celebrate our days. Some of the best support we receive in our lives comes in the form of unconditional love. And it's been through all of your support that we are here, educated, and excited to pursue our dreams. Thank you to our families, friends, and parents. Thank you, Mama and Papa. I love you too very much. They're gonna get so embarrassed, but it's so fine. But that's all, everyone. We did it. We slayed the game. We came here on a mission, and we accomplished it. Regardless of how our paths diverge from this day, the one thing that will never change is this wonderful experience that has connected all of us. We have the gift of knowledge and education from this institution that we are going to take to every corner of the world. And I can't wait to see all the amazing achievements we each make after this day. You are all my superheroes, and thank you so much for the opportunity to have served you as your class president. I love you all. Come visit me in New Rochelle sometime, or Cancun. It's a fun time, I promise. And I'll see you all around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tony, and thank you for all you've done for Wheaton College. We shall now proceed to the conferring of honorary degrees. I'd like to call upon Trustee Austin Simcoe, class of '09, now to present Bonnie G. Whitner, 69, for the honorary degree Doctor of Laws. Keith, you don't want to miss what's behind you. Oh.
The pursuit of justice requires decisiveness, patience, and compassion, a strong will, and a strong mind. It involves seeing people through difficult times in their lives, hearing many sides to a story, and finding the truth. You, Bonnie G. Whitner, have dedicated more than 30 years to this path of public service as an attorney and as a judge in New York City. After graduating from Wheaton with a bachelor's degree in European history, you earned your law degree from Boston College and then began your career working as a staff attorney for the Legal Aid Society in New York City. You then served in the New York State Attorney General's office in the Antitrust Bureau, first as a staff attorney and later as Deputy Bureau Chief. In 1983, you took a seat on the bench, appointed to the Criminal Court of New York City. Just 4 years later, you were promoted to the state Supreme Court criminal term and served first Bronx County and then New York County until your retirement in 2017. Throughout your career, you've shared your time and expertise as a citizen of New York City, a member of the legal community, and as a Wheaton alumna. Your service includes 10 years as chair of the New York County Supreme Court's Gender Fairness Committee and 8 years on the board of directors of the Fund for Social Change. For your stellar public service in and out of the courtroom, Bonnie Whitner, we present you with this honorary Doctor of Laws.
Bonnie G. Whitner, 69, in recognition of your many years of public service in pursuit of justice, balance, and the empowerment of those in your community. Congratulations. So we don't lose that. That's yours.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
President Hanno, Wheaton trustees and faculty, the class of 1969, the class of 2019, and all the other guests here today. I am thrilled, honored, and humbled to be a recipient of this extraordinary reward. 54 years ago, when I came onto this beautiful campus as a day such as this, I never would have imagined that I would be here today accepting this prestigious award. My good friends, and you know who you are here today, also could not have imagined that I would become a judge and the recipient of this wonderful honor. In 1969, when I graduated from Wheaton, our country was in turmoil. The Vietnam War was raging, while the civil rights movement was bringing new opportunities to many of the previously disenfranchised. The country was highly polarized, much as it is today. As I approached graduation, I wanted to be part of the solution to the challenges facing our nation, but I honestly didn't know how I would do that. A close friend who's here, she knows who she is, and I decided to take the LSATs and apply to law school. My professors encouraged me, and I did go to law school directly after graduation. The required courses of my first year of law school, however, really didn't inspire me. I missed the breadth of liberal arts study and the small, nurturing Wheaton community. However, I persevered and found as I began taking courses I liked, such as constitutional law and federal courts, and interning as a volunteer at the Legal Aid Bureau and the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights, I realized that pursuing a legal career was the right path for me. Wheaton prepared me for the rigors of law school and a legal and judicial career. At Wheaton, I learned to think critically and write concisely and persuasively. I was asked to give you some pearls of wisdom as you embark upon your lives after graduation. It would be presumptuous to give you a roadmap. However, I can make a few remarks about how my career unfolded. I was open to all possibilities and took advantage of every opportunity that presented itself to me without judgment. After practicing law for 10 years, one of my mentors suggested that I apply to become a criminal court judge of the city of New York. She persuaded me that it was a perfect time, as the then Mayor Koch was looking to diversify the courts, and as a 35-year-old woman with my background, I might just be in the right place at the right time. I did apply, was appointed, and it launched my 34-year tenure on the bench. I would encourage you to learn from those who have preceded you and never to be afraid to ask for advice. I feel indebted to my mentors who supported and encouraged me and gave me sound advice and counsel. Whatever path you choose, business, graduate school, work, public service, or community involvement, give it 100% effort. Doing your best possible job will be its own reward because you never can tell what doors will then open for you. I've just told you how well Wheaton prepared me for my law school and future career. However, there are a few essential life skills that Wheaton did not teach me. I will now let you guess which ones I have still not yet mastered. Drive a car, roast a chicken, type a term paper, sew on a button, and wear sunscreen. In conclusion, as Mark Twain said, 20 years from today, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds, explore, dream, and discover. Congratulations to the class of 2019. I wish you well in your future endeavors. And again, I thank you for this wonderful and prestigious award.
Trustee Mary Zygala Schleier, 74, will now present Jeffrey K. Chin, 94, for the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws.
The practice of leading through service to others is often applauded precisely because it is uncommon. You, Jeffrey Chin, exemplify the capacity to change lives through service. The communities of Central Massachusetts and our country as a whole are far better off because of your dedication to promoting the general welfare and contributing to the common good. You credit family with helping you learn the value of a strong support network. At Wheaton, you found a calling for pursuing those values through a career in social services. After graduation, you worked on the front lines at numerous nonprofits, earned a master's degree in social work from Boston College, and rose to lead the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Central Massachusetts and Metro West. Disadvantaged and at-risk youth in 42 communities benefit from the organization you lead, and the chapter has earned recognition as one of the most effective in the nation. You find many other ways to lift up the communities of which you are a part, including as an elected representative to town meeting and a member of the Health Advisory Council in your hometown of Shrewsbury. Your service extends well beyond the borders of the Commonwealth. As a commissioned reserve officer in the U.S. Navy, you spent 10 months in Afghanistan, supporting operations in the Strategic Command. Your dedication to helping others and to strengthening communities is inspiring. It is our great pleasure to present you, Jeffrey Chin, with this honorary Doctor of Laws.
Jeffrey Chin, by the authority vested in me by the trustees and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws, and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you, President Hanno, Board of Trustees, honored guests, and the entire Wheaton community. A huge congratulations to everyone here involved with the class of 2019. What an incredible day that starts what undoubtedly will be an interesting journey for all of us and all of you. I am so incredibly honored and humbled to be here today. I'm excited to join today's esteemed speakers, the Reverend Dr. Barber and Judge Whitner. To be honest, I am really nervous about how this is going to go today, as I'm usually terrible about reading with prepared remarks. I typically do much better speaking off the cuff and rather spontaneously, but I made a promise to my family and friends not to wing it for this event unless I embarrass myself or my 25th reunion classmates. Shout out to 94. I think they're as surprised as I am that I'm up here today, given the fact that I could not make it across Peacock Pond for the head of the Peacock when I was here, and now I'm in the Navy. Go figure. Back in 1994, our keynote speaker, speaking of which, was Connie Chung. Some of you might know her as the wife of Maury Povich. And at the time, she was well regarded as a TV journalist for NBC, ABC, and even hosted the evening news with Dan Rather on CBS Evening News. She was also the rare Asian American of the time that was part of the public sphere, and it was a celebrity of sorts, at least in the eyes of my mother, who's with us today. Now, while I am a far cry from Connie Chung, I think, first of all, I would hate to be a celebrity, and I certainly would not enjoy being married to Maury Povich. There are certainly some apt comparisons that could be made. We're both Chinese Americans hailing from large families, shocker. We both work in the field of communications and have had the opportunity to work with national media members. And we both have the support and the approval of one Carrie N. Chin, my dear 71-year-old mother, who is happening to celebrate her birthday today. I think it fills my mom with a certain sense of pride to see her son standing here on the same stage 25 years later. In terms of Wheaton commencement speakers, I'd say we're 2 for 2 in her eyes. Now, I think it's reasonable to assume that after hearing my introduction and looking at my resume that I would speak to you all about the importance of volunteerism and giving back to the community. And yes, this type of service is truly important. Service is the singular activity that assures us that our society doesn't deteriorate into an apocalyptic free-for-all where it's basically every person for themselves. But in thinking about my mother, I'm reminded of another kind of service that propels all of us forward, the type that every one of us needs to succeed. This can come from a variety of sources, but most often this service comes from parents or grandparents, guardians, mentors, or just a champion in your life that provides you with the help that you need to achieve and grow. The impact of this service to your success cannot be overstated. My mom immigrated here from China when she was a child. She left her parents and the conditions in her village in Canton to live with her grandmother in Hong Kong with the hopes of finding a life full of both prosperity and a freedom of choice. After getting married and settling in Providence, Rhode Island, my mother was focused on creating a life for her children that was not possible for herself or her siblings. The opportunity to shape a future through hard work, access to education, and ability to pursue a career or vocation that we were passionate about motivated my mother to provide the best type of service, the service of helping and advancing the opportunities afforded to me and my sister. My mother worked in a factory that manufactured jewelry for over 20 years. She also worked to get her citizenship in 1975. She worked nights at our family's restaurant. She worked 2 jobs to help us achieve and gain access to things that she did not. Some would say this is due to a parent's love for her children, and while that is true, it also speaks to a selfless devotion to help others ignite their potential. My realization of this type of service really didn't manifest itself until this day, 25 years ago today, when I was the first in my family to attend and graduate from college. Admittedly, back then it was hard for me, as a typical 20-year-old college graduate, to see and fully appreciate the type of dedication my mother personified all those years. It's well past time that I honor her devotion and sacrifice in service to our family. This introduction to service and helping others is what shaped and ignite my career, first as a clinical social worker and then later as a member of the U.S. Navy. My mother demonstrated that true service involves personal sacrifice and an understanding that we each have an obligation and responsibility to use whatever gifts and talents we have for the greater good of others. For my mother, it was always about creating better opportunities. This is an ideal that we can surely abide by and strive for as we move through this world. Thank you, 2019, and go forth in service.
Trustee Makia Moody, class of 2000, now will present Reverend Dr. William Joseph Barber II for the honorary degree Doctor of Laws.
Fusion generates awesome energy in physics, in the arts, and in human society. You, Reverend Dr. William Barber II, demonstrate its incredible power to foster positive change. As an activist, author, and preacher, you bring together diverse groups of people to fight for voting rights for all citizens, living wages for workers, access to health care, a cleaner environment, and racial and ethnic justice. The Moral Mondays protest that you led as president of the North Carolina NAACP addressed a broad range of social justice issues. The success of that movement inspired you to revive the Poor People's Campaign, a national effort that was originally launched by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And today, you are fueling that campaign through Repairers of the Breach, a nonprofit that trains and organizes social justice advocates nationwide. The intellectual foundation of your work melds constitutional law, biblical law, and natural law, combining the ideals on which our country was founded with the deepest values of religious tradition. It is a natural fusion for the son of a preacher who studied political science as an undergraduate and earned a Master of Divinity degree and a PhD in ministry. In your books, articles, speeches, and sermons, you draw upon broad and deep knowledge with great clarity. As you have said, quote, "Some issues are not left versus right or liberal versus conservative. They are right versus wrong." For the vision that you set forth of a more just and perfect union, and the inspiring example that you set in working toward an equitable and inclusive society, it is our great privilege to present you with this honorary Doctor of Laws.
Reverend Dr. Barber, by the authority vested in me by the trustees and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Laws and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
To our Creator who has allowed all of us to be here today, to our leader, Dr. Hanno, to all the trustees, professors, faculty, to the staff, the secretaries, the cooks, the janitors, the safety officers, the family, friends, and most of all, the class of 2019. I'm humbled to be honored by Wheaton College today with this honorary Doctor of Laws degree, and I'm humbled to be considered with the other awardees who are so deserving. I'm thankful by the grace of God to be here with you today. Nearly 40 years ago, I sat where you sit now at my own alma mater. And I want to take a moment just to recognize a homegirl from here who's sitting here today, and that's Emma Crosby Freeman, who's from North Carolina. Wheaton was founded in 1834 as a female seminary and chartered as a four-year liberal arts college in 1912. It became a co-ed in 1988, and its Phi Beta Kappa chapter was established in 1932. But I have been looking at this mission that throughout Wheaton College's history, you have had a reputation for academic excellence, and it is a direct result of pioneering leadership. And as I look out on all of you today and think about my own 40 years that have gone by, I'm reminded of a poem by Dr. Benjamin Mays, who was the mentor of Dr. Martin Luther King at Morehouse University, when he said, "I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but all of eternity is in it." And because of this class of 2019, I've come today to issue both a caution and a call. And it is that you must graduate today, but get up, get together, and get involved tomorrow. There are some that want to promote the lie that all is okay. But as Chancellor Jonathan Bennett, or Chance the Rapper, says, sometimes the truth don't rhyme, sometimes the lies get millions of views. And in this moment, you have to question the Trumpistic slogans we hear about bull markets and booming economies. Yes, that's the message from the White House and from Wall Street. We do live in a time when some people who put their names in gold plating on new buildings like to talk big talk. They collude with lies and obstruct the truth and say everything is fine when it is not. Many others engage in attention violence and refuse to even look at the realities around us. And others see the problems but just throw up their hands and say nothing can be done. The truth is, life is hard for most folk in America, and something must be done. For many of you here, you are only the first or the second generation in your family to even go to college. And no matter how you look on the outside, it was hard to get here, hard to stay here, and it's hard out here. And in many places, it's getting harder. And that's why John Legend, my friend, as we talked not too long ago, said in his latest song, you can't just preach. I can't sit and hope. I can't just sit and pray that I can find a love when all I see is pain. I try to do the things I say that I believe. I can't just preach, baby. Can't just preach. Can't just preach. Fall into my knees. I can't just preach. I must do something. I've been traveling all over this land for the past 2 years, organizing people for the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for a moral revival, and I want to invite each one of you to join it, to Google it, to be a part. I'm just back from Chula, Mississippi, the poorest city in the poorest county in the nation, where human beings are literally living in the midst of raw sewage. I've been in the backwoods of Appalachia with white communities where people are suffering because of corporate neglect and because tops of mountains are cut off in order to get a little bit of coal, and then the tops of the mountain turn to mud and destroy their homes. I've seen homeless encampments and tenant buildings. I've been on native lands and on back roads in the country, and that's the harsh reality of poverty in the richest nation in the history of the world, which is why I know you must graduate today, but then get up, get together, and get involved tomorrow. When systemic racism is alive and well, when a president today claims the success of an economy that he was handed from a black president who brought us out of a recession and from 7.8 unemployment, that's racism. When since 2010, long before we heard anything about Russia, 22 states passed racist voter suppression laws, from North Carolina to South Carolina, from Ohio to Mississippi. You must understand this, and you must graduate today, get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When we look at the reality that the Voting Rights Act that was passed in 1965 has been gutted, and since June 25th, 2013, we have had less voting rights in this country than we had 50-some years ago. And when you add that to racialized gerrymandering, which long before any talk about Russia allowed people to steal and cheat their way into office, we must understand you graduate today, but you must get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When a president loses the election by 4 million votes, but is selected president by an electoral college that is a relic of racism and slavery, and 100 million people chose not even to vote in 2016. You must graduate today, but then get up, get together, and get involved tomorrow. When mass incarceration is the new Jim Crow, when too often shooting unarmed black people goes unpunished, when indigenous people on reservations face cruel decision to frack and drill on their sacred land. We need you to graduate today, but then to get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When a country of immigrants is weaponizing deportation to rip families apart and reject people, brown immigrants at our southern borders have had families snatched and mothers and children put in cages. When just last week I visited Sister Rosa Gonzalez, who in Maryland was separated from her family. She's in sanctuary now because of the president's policies that want to deport her, leaving her 3 children, one with Down syndrome, despite the fact that she came here to get away from violence that was created in El Salvador by United States military policies. People were trying to kill her with machetes. And when you have people in office now trying to put immigration policies in place that if they were in place when their great-grandmamas tried to come here, they wouldn't have been able to get into this country. You must graduate. Get up and get together tomorrow. And when some people still feel that they have a right to hate and then discriminate against people because of their sexual orientation and who they choose to love, you must graduate today. Get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When some say that our economy is good and the unemployment is down to 3-something, but they don't tell you that most of those jobs are low-wage jobs and part-time jobs. When there are right now, as you sit here today, 140 million people in this country that are poor and low wealth, 43.5% of this nation. When there are 400 families that make an average of $97,000 an hour while we lock people up who go in the street for 15 and a union. When plus 60 million people work for less than a living wage, less than $15 in a union, and 250,000 people die every year from poverty. Yes, I want you to graduate today, but I want you to get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When 37 million people go without health care, and people who pray not to get sick because they can't afford treatment, and when politicians try to block people from getting health care, when those same politicians, when they get elected to the Congress, they get free health care, paid for by our money. When just last week, or 2 weeks ago, the current administration had a prayer day. And on that same day, they told the members of that administration were praying, P-R-E-Y-I-N-G, and trying to roll back the policies that protect people with pre-existing conditions and protect pregnant women. You must graduate today, but you must get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. When we see the hypocrisy of an Alabama state governor who has refused to expand health care, who is against health insurance companies having to cover pre-existing condition and pregnant women, who is against living wages, even though thousands of people die every year from poverty, who is for sinful racist voter suppression laws, now says she's signing a law because she cares about life and morality and signed a so-called heartbeat bill to take away a woman's right to choose. When the reality is, shamefully, she's claiming to care about a heartbeat inside the womb, but doesn't care about heartbeats outside the womb. When families, Mr. President, in Flint, Michigan, to Cancer Alley in Louisiana and all over this country, people can get up every morning and buy unleaded gas, but can't buy unleaded water. When a war economy drains social programs and impoverish communities here at home to destroy and pollute poor countries around the world. When a combat soldier makes less than $35,000 a year and a weapons company CEO makes $19 million a year as an average, and people are making a killing off of killing. When we are putting now 62 cents of every discretionary dollar into the war economy, but only 15 cents of every discretionary dollar into education and health care and infrastructure at home, you must get up, graduate today. Get up, get together and get involved tomorrow. Unless you think this is somewhere else other than Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, 43% of people are poor, 2.9 million residents, 700,000 children, 1.6 million women, 1 million people of color, and 1.8 million white people. In this state, 3,000 black adults cannot vote because of felony voting restrictions. 9,403 people in prison. Almost 56% of them are people of color. 379,000 people in Massachusetts are uninsured. 11% of the census tracts in Massachusetts are at risk for being unable to afford water. 18,000 people are homeless, and in this state, you have to work 100 hours a week at a minimum wage job to just possibly afford a 2-bedroom apartment. And there are 1 million workers in this state making less than a living wage, and 700,000+ people in this state on food stamps. When a distorted moral narrative of religious nationalism and Christian nationalism tries to be the chaplain of the state and not the critic of the state, and does not follow the call of God, that does not ask you, are you against homosexuals or gay people? Are you against abortions? Are you for prayer in the school? Are you for guns? Are you for tax cut? Those are not the questions of God Almighty. The question of God Almighty to nations is simply this: when I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was sick, did you care for me? When I was an undocumented immigrant, did you welcome me in? And when we have a false moral narrative that says God blesses those who are cursing the poor and defending racism and waging senseless wars and hating Muslims and gay people and destroying the earth and loving tax cuts and guns, this is such a lie that you must graduate today, but then get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. We need you. America needs you. The world needs you on the front lines for love and justice and truth. In class of 2019, you are graduating during a moral crisis in America. And I must tell you the truth, but I must also say you're not the first. Truth is, it has always been young people who have stepped forward at moments of crisis in this nation's history to offer leadership that could push us toward a more perfect union. When this school was founded, it was founded so that young women in a revolutionary way could be trained theologically despite the chauvinism that was prevalent in the church and in the nation. Langston Hughes was a young man. He knew he could not wait. He could not just work a job and ignore the world around him. So he decided in the 1920s and 30s, we call it rapping today, he called it writing poetry. He decided that he would lead the prophetic poetic transformation, which would be known as the Harlem Renaissance. And when he was young, it was Langston Hughes that raised this question that Dr. King would later pick up. Who said the free? Not me, surely not me. The millions on relief, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed, all the songs we've sung, all the hopes we've held, all the flags we've flung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, America, America, must be America again, the land that has never yet been yet and yet must be, the land where every person is free, the land is mine, the poor man's, the Indians, the Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain. We must bring back our mighty dream again. Surely call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again. America, oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath that America shall be. Young people, Diane Nash, a student at Fisk University, became a leader in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. She was at the center as a young woman of shaping the Selma to Montgomery March. Bob Zellner, the son of a Klansman from Alabama, changed his whole history trajectory and became the first white young man to be in the Southern Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And since I'm a preacher, that brown-skinned Palestinian Jew I follow, his name is Jesus, in the flesh was a young man. And even as a teenager, he was challenging wrong. And his first sermon as a young man in his hometown was, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to preach good news to the poor." These young people, and thousands like them in history, they didn't have long years as credentials. They didn't have that as the credentials for the roles they took. Instead, they answered a call with big hearts and grand ideals and learned minds. So I stopped by today to issue a call during this moment of moral crisis in America. We need you to graduate today, get up and get together and get involved tomorrow. This country needs you. And I don't know how many of you know that Hebrew Bible scripture that talks about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the story of some Hebrew young people that graduated from the University of Babylon. And when they graduated, there was a narcissistic, lying ruler on the throne demanding that they bow down and believe all of his fake news. He threatened them with being caged. He threatened them with police brutality if they didn't bow. But instead, they united together and said, "O King, we know that our God can deliver. But even if God doesn't, we will not bow." They said, "O King, the God we know can deliver. But even if God doesn't, we will not bow." Graduates, you must choose likewise to graduate, get up, get together, get involved, and not bow to greed, not bow to division, not bow to inequality, not bow to the injustices around you. You cannot merely get a job, a car, and then quarantine your life. You must graduate from college, get up, get together, and get involved in the movement. Your graduation must signal more than just a graduation for private purposes. America needs you to answer the call, to stand up and stand against those things contrary to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and to be against anything that is trying to destroy anybody's fundamental human rights. I believe that you must decide how you can be a part of reviving the heart of this democracy. You must go from commencement to commencing. Never in history has so much money been spent to resist equality. The gross sums of money being spent to take us backwards is lewd, is pornographic, is blatant, and is arrogant. These are troubling times. Corporations are being treated like people. People are being treated like things. Banks get bailouts from loans without money for no interest and then turn around and lend you money on your student loans with interest. These are critical times, and yet never in history has there been a generation with so much at your disposal to make a difference. Our parents, your grandparents, and foreparents in the struggle for justice and love, they did more with less and we must do more with more. With less, they beat slavery. With less, they beat Jim Crow. With less, they beat lynching. With less, they beat the KKK. With less, they stood against fascism and overcame the Holocaust. With less, they overcame apartheid. I once told a group that with less and with no formal education and despite having epilepsy, Harriet Tubman got 500 slaves out of slavery. She didn't have email. She didn't have Facebook. She didn't have texting. She didn't even know what Twitter was. She didn't have a car, but she had faith in God. Moss on the north side of the tree and a North Star in the middle of the night. And she had a constitution, a deep constitution in her soul that would not merely accept wrong. She and so many others before us did more with less, and we must do more with more. We must get up, get together, get in, and get involved. And I know the power of getting together. The truth is, when people of conscience have gotten together, when the stones that the builders have rejected have gotten together, those stones have become the cornerstones of a new society and freedom. And I look out today, some of you've known rejection. You've known rejection because of the color of your skin. You've known rejection because of who you choose to love. You've known rejection because of your income. You've known rejection because of the families you were raised in. You've known rejection because of a disability or a setback. But I stop by to tell you that when the stones that the builders have rejected get together, they can become the chief cornerstone of a new society. When people of consciousness have come together and stood together, justice has never lost. Now, I didn't say justice hadn't been fought, and I didn't say it hadn't been beat up, but justice has never lost. During slavery, it looked like justice had lost, but when those like Frederick Douglass and some white Quakers and white evangelicals of that day got together, they formed a fusion movement that brought about abolition. Women didn't have the right to vote. But when a former slave named Sojourner Truth and white Quakers like Lucretia Mott got together and many others, they won the right to vote. Plessy versus Ferguson, that said separate but equal was Constitution, looked like it had the victory. But when a law school named Howard that had been rejected trained Thurgood Marshall, and then he mobilized white lawyers and black lawyers and Jewish lawyers, and when they got together, an all-white Supreme Court with one member who had been a member of the KKK had to vote unanimously to tear down separate but equal. It looked like Jim Crow had beaten down justice and right couldn't rise again. But when Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and Bayard Rustin, who was gay, got together with white folk like Viola Russa and James Reeb and others, they tore Jim Crow down. God changed America by raising up people who dared to get up, get together, and get involved. And there's a power when we get up from where we are, get together, and get involved. 1993, I qualified for rejection. Sickness hit my body. I stayed in the hospital for weeks. I went through depression. Doctors said I might never walk again. Some people told me I'd never be able to pastor again. I spent 12 years on a walker in a wheelchair, pain all the time. Only time I had some relief was when I was standing up speaking. I guess that's why I'm long-winded today. But over that time, Mr. President, something happened. My mind got together. My doctors got together. My pharmacists got together. My therapist got together. My swim coach got together. My family got together. My church got together. And the prayer warriors got together. And I can stand now because all of those folk got together. And so together, we can get up and get involved, and we must. Together, love can take on hate. Together, mercy can take on meanness. Together, justice can take on injustice. Together, truth can defeat lies. Together, we can come together and protest. We can come together and vote together. We can push back wrong together. We can lift up rights together. Together, we can get up and get involved, and we can change America. And when we all get together in this nation, what a day of rejoicing. What a day of justice it will be when we all get together and stand for everybody's rights and everybody's well-being. And so as I look out on you, I'm led to pray. I was consecrated a bishop in the church a few years ago, and I feel like praying today a Franciscan benediction. May God bless you with a restless discomfort about easy answers and half-truths and superficial relationships, so that you may seek truth boldly and love deeply within your heart. May God bless the class of 2019 with a holy anger at injustice and oppression and the exploitation of people, so that you may tirelessly work for justice, freedom, and peace among all people. May God bless you with the gift of tears to shed for those who suffer from pain and rejection and starvation or the loss of all they cherish, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them and transform their pain into joy. And may God bless you, class of 2019, with enough foolishness to believe that you really can make a difference in this world, so that you are able, with God's grace, to do what others claim can't be done. And may the grace and the peace of God be with you and remain with you from this day forevermore. And I'll see you on the front lines where we're fighting for freedom, justice, and all that is right. God bless your heart.
Thank you so much for that call to action, Reverend Dr. William Barber. Most importantly, welcome to the Wheaton community. You captured the history, and you captured the present, and it will be the future. Thank you. Wheaton College, class of 2019. It's almost your time. In just a few minutes, each of you will walk across this stage and receive an important document that represents the culmination of all your work here at Wheaton College. That's a big moment. That's a big moment and worthy of some deep reflection. So before you make that walk, before you come up here, I'd ask you to take a moment to reflect on those who got you here and then continued to support you while you were here. Through you, class of 2019, your family and friends are now part of the Wheaton family too. Folks like Claire Kanzler's grandmother, Joanne Rosenthal. Where's Joanne? Joanne around here somewhere? She's here all the way from Los Angeles for her first time on campus. Rumor has it that Claire got her killer volleyball skills from you. In fact, 975 career kills worth of volleyball skills. And then there's Stacia Nevin. Where's Stacia? Got to be around here somewhere. Well, I heard through the grapevine that just because I helped carry Catherine's carpet into her dorm room the day she moved in as a first-year student, that Stacia expects me to help pack up and carry out the carpet this afternoon. Don't worry, I'll meet you in Larkham right after the ceremony. Or how about T.D. Basso, who has been on campus just twice, the day she dropped Lorenzo off 4 years ago, and now as she surprised him and all of us to show up for his big day. Yeah. Every parent here probably knows TD from her many, many inspiring and heartfelt posts on the Parents Facebook page, like 3 a day. TD, Wheaton loves you just as much as the love you have shown Lorenzo and Wheaton over the last 4 years, all the way from Italy. Then also we know there are parents who are actually here for the very first time, like Regina over here, Rodney Rugamba's mother, here all the way from Rwanda. I know that it's probably been hard for you to imagine what Rodney's experience was like, but I hope that in your few short days here and with this event today, you can truly appreciate what a special place Wheaton is and how much you too and your family always will be a part of this community. We also know that some graduates unfortunately don't have any family here because of politics or economics or other reasons that have prevented them from making the long journey. For example, I know that Zoe Kao's family couldn't make the long trip from China, and the one and only Ibrahim that we all know and love couldn't make it from Burundi. Know that you, Zoe and Ibrahim, and those who don't have family here, are surrounded by love from your Wheaton family. And if your families are watching on live stream, we are sending that love your way. And let's not forget the other end of the spectrum. Parents like Christina DeVern's mom, Lori, who seems to be here all the time. I think I've seen Lori on campus more than I've seen Christina over the last 4 years, which is fine because she is so passionate about this place. In full disclosure, we know Lori's love for Wheaton is deep since she's a member of the class of 1984 back there, here on campus this weekend for their 35th reunion. So reflect too, not just on those people who got you here, but those people who shared this experience with you over these 4 years. Look around you and realize that as you walk across this stage, the other members of the class of 2019 are part of how you got here, and that they will be with you in one way or another, even after you walk down this ramp and leave for the real world. You have shaped each other, you have shaped Wheaton, and you have shaped me. Who wouldn't be changed by someone like Andrew Anderson, who every time we needed a strong voice of reason and someone who could speak with passion and caring, he was there. And Andrew, my life just hasn't been the same since you and Hedrick forced me to go to Oasis after midnight that one night. Or was it Jenny and Olivia that forced us all to do that? I honestly don't remember. I don't know why. Good luck at Google. My sense of style and fashion has been shaped by so many of you, but no more than the likes of Tom Fanu, who I saw in the aisle out there. But Tom, you're right. I can never compete with you on the runway, but I'll always be up for that bowling challenge if you're ever brave enough to try again. Good luck at Chanel. We will all be watching with pride as you pursue your dream. Reverend Dr. Barber made a call to action, but this class is an action-oriented class, and it has had such an impact on me and so many others with its collective passion for social justice issues. So many leaders making a difference in so many ways on campus and off. People like Jessica Chakoff, Sol Martinez-Guevara, Cam Edelman, Gracie Callahan, Ashley Sagai, Ebony Kennedy, just to name a few. We need you now more than ever, and you heard that. Thank you for what you've done, and I look forward to what you'll do. Then there are those people who just truly bring joy to all of us with their endless enthusiasm and their positive energy. So many in this class, but none more in my mind than Anna Joy DiGregorio, who gained YouTube fame when the video of our surprise visit to her high school to welcome her as the first member of the class of 2019 went viral, who smiled throughout that surprise and who has never stopped smiling since. Thank you for bringing true joy to all of us. I know during your time at Wheaton, you've had so many conversations with each other, and I've benefited from so many conversations with you. Folks like Joshua Wolf, who has been at our house every Thanksgiving since he arrived here, and who always has the most interesting things to talk about. Joshua, there'll always be a place for you at our Thanksgiving table. Mark your calendar for November 28th this year, okay? Or Rebecca Rosenzweig, who I loved hearing about her Projects for Peace initiative, an amazing project that had an impact on people in Asia during your very first year here. Thank you for that conversation, Rebecca. Or Molly Spalding, who met me at Bagels and Cream, and by the way, I'll miss all of you there every Sunday morning, because she was so passionate about learning more about accounting. Thank you, Molly. Or talking with Jade Assad at her softball game about why she will always be summa cum laude to me, no matter what it says in the book, and I hope you checked your book. And of course, Bhavika and Darshil, who always found a reason to stop by my office to to seek my advice on just about every imaginable topic. I'll miss those visits. So many conversations to remember, so many people who have had such an impact, so many things that have happened during your time here. These thoughts are all running through my mind right now, and I'm guessing those same kinds of thoughts are in your mind too. But let's now all put our minds in the exact same place. As you walk across this stage, and I hand you this prize diploma back here, reflect on the fact that everybody here, we all came together, that we all worked and played and lived life together, that this special place, this whole place exists for just one common purpose, that you may have life and have it abundantly. Let me now hand you a piece of paper that will remind you of that forever. Thank you, class of 2019.
Will all members of the class of 2019 please rise? President Hanno, as Provost of Wheaton College, I have the honor to present the members of the class of 2019 who have fulfilled to the satisfaction of the faculty all requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and declare you to be entitled to all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining to that degree. In testimony thereof, and as evidence that you have fulfilled all the requirements, the trustees grant you the diploma of Wheaton College. Please be seated. Now it truly is your turn. Dean of Students, Kate McCaffrey, will now present the graduates.
Senior class officers, Tony Galvin, President. Yushen Sunny Wu, Vice President, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ann Johnson, Secretary. Laudy Gadiel Joaquin, Treasurer, cum laude. David James Carbonello, Class Gift Co-Chair, cum laude. Isabella Walder Kluster, Class Gift Co-Chair. Keaton Alexa Schrank, Class Gift Co-Chair, summa cum laude. The Student Government Association Executive Board members of the class of 2019. Mateo Francisco Espinoza Tokuhama, Vice President, Spring 2019. Morgan Amanda Shields, College Hearing Board Chair, magna cum laude. Gracie Helena Callahan, Student Alumni Association Chair. Ebony Nefertiti Kennedy, Senator, summa cum laude. Benjamin Allen Stone, Senator at Large. Samuel Armstrong Mahler, Class Representative. B. Grace Abrahamson. Cameron Baird Edelman, magna cum laude. Logan Elizabeth Ahern. Daniel Alexander. Ariana Mary Alfiero, magna cum laude. Noah Graham Allen, cum laude. Kennelly Sarah Allerton. Alexandra Reed Amaral. Andrew Nigel Samuels Anderson. Joshua Antwi. Vanessa Jade Assad. Hyunmin Bay. Peter Anthony Bardacino. Nefeli Badistatu, summa cum laude. Kevin Joseph Batson. Jordan Andre Bauer, magna cum laude. Catherine Ellis Bald, summa cum laude. Jenny Bautista. Catherine Julong Bailey. Samuel Tyler Burke. Jules Bibonimana. Taylor Christine Bisson. Catherine Marie Blackwell. Isabel Veronica Blaitler. Crystal Odette Blair. Emily Brent Blay. Theodore Michael Babinski Jr. Catherine Ann Bodell, summa cum laude. Martha Carpenter Bodell. Hannah Page Bovair. Joseph A. Bongiovanni, baseball. Joanne Catherine Burgoyne. William Walter Boyd, baseball. Jordan Brazies Eberly. Patrick James Brosnan. Kaylin Brown. Samuel Charles Buck. Claire Marie Kanzler. Zhu Hao. Julio Antonio Castillo. Jessica Lee Chakoff, cum laude. Jesse Gregory Charpentier. Haining Chen, cum laude. Tong Chen. Joel Chen, magna cum laude. Christina Chu. Stephanie Lynn Ciccarelli. Ross Jude Gamella Simigala, cum laude. Christine Noel Clancy. Clara Jane Colas, cum laude. Winston Huang Colby. Catherine Haxey Cole. Lorenzo Bosso Condemi, magna cum laude. Michelle Ann Conley. Catherine Rose Conway. Madison Olivia Cook-Comey, magna cum laude. Alexandra Jean Copenhaver. Ryan Philip Corbo. Julia Megan Corey, cum laude. Jacob Evan Cost. Olivia Page Cross, cum laude. Cassandra Louise Cusinelli, cum laude. Nefeli Olivia Custer, magna cum laude. Margaret Jean Darren. Inez Evelyn de Cabramante, cum laude. Anna Joy de Gregorio, cum laude. Morgan Alexis Della Hunt. Ariana Nicole Della Rosio. Tessa Monique DeLuca. Haley DeLuca Lowell, cum laude. Gabriel Nathaniel Durr, cum laude. Christina Yvonne DeVerne, magna cum laude. Nancy DeHady, magna cum laude. Fatimata Diallo. Rachel Marie Dixon, magna cum laude. Connor William Donahue. Olivia Grace Donovan. Michael Robert Doucette. Kate Madison Dransfield. Evelyn Doris Dubois, cum laude. Bhavika Dugar. Ashley Elizabeth Dunham. Fahim Abdul Bari Dyer, cum laude. Caroline Fournier Dearberg, magna cum laude. David Duaka Aquincy. Emre Can Amirali. Isabella Grace Enriquez. Gabrielle Sophie Eustache. Christine Marie Evers, summa cum laude. Brianna Corinne Fedor. Wakey Feng, magna cum laude. Thomas Antoine Fanu, cum laude. Kelsey Victoria Ferreira, magna cum laude. Juan Fitch Salada, cum laude. Brittany Elon Flynn, cum laude. Lyle Brand Foster, cum laude. Alana Franklin. Emma Crosby Freeman, summa cum laude. Roger Freeman. Justin Anthony Gallagher, cum laude. Connor John Gammond, baseball. Ichao Go. Lorena Garcia. Binmet Adisu Gabrazebier. Nicholas David Jeremiah. James Peter Gianquitti, baseball. Jason Joseph Gilbert. Rebecca Lynn Golding, magna cum laude. Alexander Jeffrey Gombos. Pedro Enrique Gontillo Texera. Natalie Hope Granda. Josephine Ida Gray, cum laude. Madeline Marie Green, magna cum laude. Catherine Rose Green, cum laude. Emily Ann Griffin, summa cum laude. Cristiano A. Gorcellini. Blaheen Mary Haddad. Teddy Haddo, cum laude. Iman Alamin Haj Al-Khair, magna cum laude. Abigail Pauline Hamilton. Emily Alston Hammond. Justin Hahn. Kiana Casey Jean Harriel, cum laude. Maxwell Howard Heisel. Leanne Elizabeth Hines, cum laude. Ray Elizabeth Helmreich, summa cum laude. Marissa Aline Hexter. Catherine Elizabeth Hopkins. Nicholas Edward Hodery, magna cum laude. Weibo Stephen Huo. Amina Hussein. Angela Marie Hyde. Wendy Elizabeth Ireland. Kagal Hassan Isa. Christian Brandon Joachim. Sarah June Johnson. Nicholas Joseph Jocelyn, summa cum laude. Elaine Janet Joubert. Christina Patrice Calogeras, cum laude. Samantha Gail Kelly, cum laude. Caroline Hayes Kennedy. Kaylee Elizabeth Kenny. Carrie Howland Colleen. Amelia Rose King. Jacob Mackey Kidd. Evan C. Lafiere. Madeline Amelia Lam. Jonathan Hartman Lamore. Jacob E. Lane. Thomas Jeffrey Larison, baseball. Luis Alberto Lazo. Sabrina Ann Leahy. Charles J. Layton. Amy Gail Leitz, cum laude. Stanley Lynn. Sydney Area Littlejohn. Sarah Emily Liu, cum laude. Jinru Liu, summa cum laude. Jinyi Liu, summa cum laude. Amy Lee Livermore. Sarah Robertson Lombard. Zachary Carlos Lorenzen, cum laude. Amanda Hope Lowe. Molly Rose Lowry. Catherine Patricia McGregor, cum laude. Margaret Fair Mackin, magna cum laude. Yue Mao. James Richard Marsucella. Sol Martinez Guevara. Julia Sky Maturano. Michael William Mason, magna cum laude. Maureen Lenahan McCafferty, summa cum laude. Ashley Haley McLeod. Hannah Catherine McIsaac, magna cum laude. Charlie Ryan McNeil. Claudia E. Menard. Julia Mendros. Hannah Megan Mercio, magna cum laude. Rebecca Therese Maselli. Jennifer Marie Magatsky, summa cum laude. Milan Desiree Minor. Hannah Ruth Monahan, cum laude. John Michael Montefort. Kelly Elizabeth Montoya. Matthew Xavier Morgan, magna cum laude. Allison Shirley Mosier. Emily Flynn Murray. Tamaki Nagai. Catherine Victoria Nevin. Funshu Norbu. Ibrahim Abdul Shimiramana. Katrina Page Oberg, summa cum laude. Jared David O'Donnell. Adunola Ogunbanjo. Connor Sanson O'Keefe, magna cum laude. Kira Eileen Olander, cum laude. Lily Croxton Angiko. Robert Charles O'Rourke. Ariana Lee O'Rourke. Monica Ray Woulette. Blythe Elise Owen, cum laude. Hadrick Johan Padilla, cum laude. Pia Carly Parisi Marcus, summa cum laude. Liam Michael Pearson, cum laude. Robert Edward Peterson. Ariana Jane Paseric. Eric Richard Pfeiffer, magna cum laude. Isabella Mary Pequod. Kimberly Lauren Pentowski. Rosalind Carmen Maria Pofcher. Ethan Isidore Powell, cum laude. Evan Michael Provencher. Ka Tien, cum laude. Elizabeth Maya Rama. Grant Gibbons Raphael. Darshil Sandeep Rathod, cum laude. Taylor Francis Reese. Kately Dolores Reynoso, magna cum laude. Rowan Juniper Wilder Rice.
Anita Nicole Richardson, cum laude. Rachel Marie Richardson, cum laude. Trelawney Tiger Lily Robinson, cum laude. Tara Jane Rochfort. Rebecca Eden Rosenzweig, cum laude. Rodney Rugamba. Luisa Fernanda Rulon. Henry Rittenhouse Russell. Jeremiah Francis Reiser, cum laude. Wabe Savoy. Holly Nicole Salois, summa cum laude. Farik Bean Suzuki, summa cum laude. Emily May Schlepak. Francisca Alexa Sakor. Timio Joseph Seguera IV. David Caldwell Schaefer. Jared Repetto Sharkey Baseball. Higme Namgal Sherpa. Margaret Forster Shields, cum laude. Natasha Stracia. Alexis Ty Sikorsky. Kevin Augusto Silva. Taylor Slater. Austin Edmund Smith, magna cum laude. Christina Ann Smith, summa cum laude. Molly Allison Spalding, magna cum laude. Hannah Paige Specht. Timur Sposato, cum laude. Andrew Harold Steele. Christopher Michael Stewart. Jessie Elizabeth Stewart. Alexander William Stromberg. Trudy Sidarson, cum laude. Amanda Claire Swanson, summa cum laude. Kaylee Faye Sy. Joshua Conrad Talanian. Babakar Tal. Kiana Chelsea Taylor. Krista Nicole Tedesco, cum laude. Riley Joseph Tetrault. Cecilia Ty. Delia Rose Tinnery. Emily Allison Toma, magna cum laude. Kathy Tran. Joshua David Tribuck, magna cum laude, baseball. Ashley Hailey Sagai. Indigo Jack Vanderborg. Alexa Catherine Vasilakos. Lucia Verderho, cum laude. Drew Charles Vidham. Juliana Ruth Voloshin. Curran William Waite. Adam Cooper Wax. Bintao Wong. David Wong. Kaylin Adam Wendler. Shelby Lynn Wilson. Joshua Mallet Wolf. Andrea Jean Wood, magna cum laude. Chloe Alexandra Woodward. Ning Rong Yan. Mary Margaret Yancey, magna cum laude. Jia Yang. Karen Yang, magna cum laude. Lan Yao. Claire Zoe Young. George Youssef. Yoon Zhang, summa cum laude. Zexi Zhang. Hexen Zhen, magna cum laude. Zexi Zhao. Jiali Zhu, summa cum laude. Rachel Amanda Zipper, cum laude.
Thank you, Dean Kate. It is with great pleasure and pride that I salute you. Now, finally and truly, the class of 2019 and Wheaton's newest alumni. You may now switch your tassel from the right to the left. From the right to the left. It's official. To make it even more official, I would like to call upon Joshua Bachner, class of 1995, to welcome the class of 2019 to the Alumni Association. Josh.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Come on, I'm the last before you're set free. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I had a beautiful speech prepared for you that was going to answer all of your questions. How to get that first apartment, how to find a job you love, how to fulfill your passion, how to change the world, how to get out red wine stains, how many roads a man has to walk down before we can call him a man, how that fifth dentist could still be so recalcitrant and not recommend Trident chewing gum over regular chewing gum. But dentist told me it was too long. I had to cut it all, and so you'll have to figure it out for yourselves. But as president of the Wheaton College Alumni Association, it is my honor and privilege to officially welcome you as the newest members of a global association comprised of nearly 19,000. Would the 2019 class representatives, Sunny Wu and Olivia Cross, please come forward to present your class banner. Okay, thank you both very much. I find it fitting that the Wheaton experience begins and ends with traditions that connect you to generations that have come before and generations that will sit in your seats for years to come. As you saw during this morning's procession, each reunion class carries its banner as we guided you to today's ceremony. I am now proud to accept the class of 2019 banner on behalf of the Alumni Association. Class of 2019, you are joining the association at a special time. In the fall of 1869, the class of 1870 met and created the Alumni Association for the purpose of holding social reunions each year. The association has grown and become much more than just a social celebration during reunions. Today, 150 years after the founding of the association, I find it fitting to announce at your graduation that the Alumni Board of Directors is undertaking a year-long celebration of our association members in honor of this milestone anniversary. Today at 1:30 in the chapel, the association will celebrate and honor 2 alumni with achievement awards. Adar Cohen, class of 4, and Betty Reardon, class of 51, who graduated more than 50 years apart, but are connected by their passion to advocate for peace. Adar, co-founder of the Civic Leadership Foundation, is an educator and researcher in the areas of conflict resolution, youth empowerment, and nonviolent social change. Betty, founding director emeritus of the International Institute on Peace Education, is a pioneer who's been dedicated to creating and shaping peace education programs in the United States and abroad for more than 50 years. As you stay connected to classmates and friends, the Alumni Association is a resource to introduce you to other association members who may share a similar story. As alumnus of Wheaton College and as president of the Alumni Association, I have had the honor of hearing from students past and present about the ties that bind the Wheaton community. I will hope you will now do your part as alumni to continue these traditions for the students who will follow in your footsteps. Your Wheaton experience does not end today. There will be many occasions to continue to build community within and beyond your class as you celebrate your new milestone as alum. From your senior gift to the 60 events held annually around the world, from San Francisco to London to Hong Kong and everywhere in between, there is always an opportunity to reminisce and reconnect with classmates and fellow alumni. I'm honored to be with you here today as we welcome you into an association built on the collective traditions that have made Wheaton what it was, is, and will be in the future. Congratulations, and I look forward to witnessing your many achievements to come.
Everybody but Jenny wants to leave, I think, so. It's now time to bring these ceremonies to a close. I will invite Alexandra Ali Copenhaver, 19, to return to the stage and lead us in the singing of the anthem. While she's coming up, let me tell you a few logistical things. Ali, you can come on up. Oh, there you are. Snuck up. For those who ordered a takeaway lunch for today, they will be ready for you in the faculty dining room right here in Emerson. Please enter through the main doors of Emerson Dining Hall on my left. The Alumni Reunion Luncheon is taking place in Chase Dining Hall. For those of you who will need to return to your cars at the Norton High School or Lot 3 parking lots, shuttle buses will continue to run until 4 p.m. At the completion of Ali singing of the anthem, please remain seated during the recessional while the platform party, graduates, and faculty are led out by the Clan Sutherland Bagpipe Band. During the recessional, we ask that families and guests remain at their seats to allow ceremony participants to exit. Once the graduates have moved past the entire seating area, you are welcome to move freely. Will everyone now please rise and join in singing the Wheaton Anthem?
See conscience better is it unfurled to women and men throughout the world. To the oppressed of every race, the world hath known the gift of grace, not for ourselves our blessings bring, but all hope and love till all are free.
We can take the booklets, unless they're messy. Look, somebody's speech here. We don't have one. I don't think so. Put them all in a pot there. Oh, no, we're not collecting